Hello, this is Greenhat-Redbeard Adventures. This is for Slingshots, setting up your bands with a pouch. In the previous video that I just shot, I showed you how to cut some bands from latex material used for exercise equipment. I got the two latex bands here that are ready to go. These are high resistance bands. And basically what we're going to show you is how to attach these bands onto a pouch, and how to put them on, how to tie them on, set them up, so that way you get a nice band looking like this. For this, you're going to need a jig. Now this jig in particular is a copy of what I saw online. This one here, unfortunately for most of you, this one here is made out of steel and steel bits and welding and going on. So obviously if you don't have the steel to pull this off, and the welding machine to put it off, this kind of jig is not for you. However, if you pick up these two clamps at a hardware store for decently cheap, you can still make this jig out of wood. Right now the height from the center of the clamp jaws to there is roughly about 2.5 inches. You can put it a little higher, a little lower, it's up to you. I put a little higher because I got my big fat hands here and I like to have a little extra space to play with. And the space inside from one to the other, it's up to you. Mine is roughly about, I think it was 1 3/8 inches, 1.5 inches, give or take. It was space in between. You don't need that big of a space. Roughly about 1.25 inches will do it. A little bit more, a little bit less. It's up to you. But like I said, big hands, so I like to have a little bit of space here. So how we're going to tie them on is we're going to use these. This is leftover material from the same latex materials. What I did here is I cut the 1/8 of an inch wide, and how long you cut it really doesn't matter. I have this roughly about 3-4 inches long. We're not going to use all of it, but I'm going to show you how to do this now, and I'm hoping you guys are going to see this because this is kind of tricky. You're going to take the 1 inch side and leave that. The 1 inch side is the side you're going to attach onto the slingshot itself. 3/4 inch side, that's the side you want to attach to the pouch. For those of you wondering, this pouch is off of an old Daisy slingshot, those tube-band slingshots you find at most outdoor stores and hardware stores. I used to have a whole bunch of old Daisy slingshots that I no longer use anymore now because I've been making slingshots with the flat bands. So what I did is I just simply cut them off and I use this. You can use leather material to find at arts and crafts stores, or you can purchase pouches online. But I took these from a Daisy. So anyways, this is the 3/4 inch side. Basically what you want to do is fold it in on itself in thirds. This is 3/4 inch wide, so you want to basically you're folding it in on itself. So hopefully you can see that. See how it's kind of rolled in? Basically you just fold in to thirds. So right now it's at 1/4 inch wide. And what you want to do is, so the other side here, hopefully you can see that, that's what it's going to look like. It's kind of rolled in on itself. So at that point, what you want to do is that this side facing up, this is going to be the outside. So you're going to take the pouch, slip it through the hole. Sorry, this is trying to do this and try to remember I got to do this on video. You want to stick it through like that, and then you want to fold this end back on itself. So it takes a little practice. Once you get the hang of it, it'll work. There we go. So it's going to look like that. Basically what I did is just stuck it in from underneath and outside. So this is going to be outside, which means this side of this side of the pouch is going to be the inside of the pouch where the ammo goes. So that way this is going to be on the outside and it's not going to block the shot or anything. So at this point what you want to do is take this very carefully and you want to stick it in the vise. Just like that. So let's get that more close up. So that's what I did right there. Just pinch that, you basically folded it over, and then you just have it in the vise there pinched. At which point, what you want to do here, let's get that out of the way, is take the pouch right here, just stretch it forward, and then we want to, switch hands here, open that up, stretch it out, see how it's stretching the material, and clamp this side. So there's another close-up. See how the material, latex gray material stretched out now? That's what you want. And so that way, when it's stretched out like that, now you add your tie on. So here's the tie on as I mentioned before. And I'm hoping you're going to be able to see this okay. You want to stretch this material out. You always want to be under tension. You want to be stretched out at all times. And just wrap it around. Keep stretching it. Don't let it go loose. And basically you want to wrap this around roughly 3-4 times, give or take. It's up to you if you want to go a little more or a little less. It's up to you entirely. Out there is actually probably closer to 5. Now comes the tying it. Now there's other ways you can tie this, but this is the way that I know how to tie it, and this is the way I like to do it. So simple overhand knot. It takes a little practice. Try not to lose the tip and unravel on itself. So right now it's overhand knot right here, so I gotta pull it tight. But the latex band material rubber is gonna cause friction, and therefore you're not gonna be able to pull it taut. So what you want to do is you want to lubricate the band. So just take your finger right in your mouth, just rub it a little bit, and then pull it tight. And that little spit that you got on there is going to lubricate the band so you get a nice tight knot there. You don't want to crank this because then the elastic band might snap on you, in which case you've just lost it. So I just tied it once. Now I'm going to do it again. A little more spit there. Just rub it on there. Pull it tight. Now just that there will be good enough, but I like to make sure it stays on there, so I'm going to tie it a 3rd time. Overhand knot a 3rd time. A little spit there. And there we go. Done. So I'll give you a nice up close look again. Sorry, the camera's not quite focusing the way I want it to, but that's what it looks like. So you just tied it off right there. So then what you do is take the scissors, stretch it out, snip off as much of that excess as you possibly can. I'll just blow on it a little bit to dry the spit. And then don't just open this and let it shoot back on itself. Just be gentle, like open it up and look. So that there is what it's going to look like. So basically this end of the pouch right here is where the ammo is going to go. That way the knot that you tied and the little access there is on the outside. Speaking of which, the access, you just fold this back and you take that little access, you take your scissors and just snip it off. So basically I snip it off to the point of where there's just shy of 1/8 of an inch sticking out left. And then you fold it back. And that's what it's going to look like. At which point, give it a little tug, give it a pull, stretch it out, check to make sure it's holding. And there you go. Just like that. So then you simply just do the same thing with the other one. Fold it in on itself into 3rds. And like I said, it'll take some practice to pull this off right. And again, you want to make sure you get it on the same side as you did with the original side. Check it before you start sticking it into the jig and rolling with it, because you might, just in case you accidentally do it wrong. If you do it wrong, then just start over again. Simple. So just like that. Stick it in the jig. Stretch it out, nice and gentle. You don't want to stretch it too much because then it might slip out on you. And there you have it. Then we just tie this off again. I'm just going to do it quick. Then we just do the overhand knot. Add some spit. Tighten that off. And pretty much from there it's just the same as before. So give it a shot for yourself.